Big Gold Belt Media is your golden standard for all of your media needs. Visit biggoldbelt.com for pro wrestling info, movies, comics, and even more digital content. On all of your social medias, follow us at Big Gold Belt all across the board. Listen to this show and more on your SoundCloud or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey,
What's up, y'all? This is like a new little thing for y'all, you know what I'm saying? So of course, you know what it is, your girl My Desire and the one and only.
Denny C23. What's going on,
What's
people?
going on, y'all? We are here and I will take the hit for us. I apologize that we were late. Your girl was in France, okay? So just cut me a teeny bit of slack, right? But we want to make sure that we give you this episode review because, whoa, episode 6, you asked
Episode
for
6.
miracles. I don't even know what to say because every single episode that we get is something new and it's something crazier. And for me, I fall more in love with the series. What are your thoughts before we really dive into it?
Before we really dive into it, I can definitely say this show has blown my expectations out of the water from watching the trailer to the first episode to now. I would say that every episode ending is a cliffhanger. It leaves me wanting more, and I love it. And I really appreciate Paradise and the writers, man. Yeah, doing a great job, doing an awesome job.
Absolutely. So, this episode, we finally get to see a little bit of, Xavier's wife
Yes.
and the kid's mom, obviously, right? And it starts with a flashback where it takes us to school and Presley got in trouble for doing an amazing project, right? She did what was asked of her. And of course, we got these two sensitive ass parents who are sad that their kid ate all this cake when technically he didn't really have to. But this is also a kid that apparently bullied Presley or did something nasty to her previously.
Right.
But what's really the most important thing about this particular interaction is what Terry, the wife, says, which is, I would hate to be on the other side of somebody who really pisses you off because, essentially saying like, if you have to make a scene, it's gonna get bad. It's gonna be bad. And I love that because I can resonate with the personality that Xavier has, which is like he's real low key. He don't want to start no shit. He wants to like keep the peace. But as soon as you've reached your limit, it's really like, I'm done. I'm out of here. It's over, finito. And so this is where we start to see Sinatra spiral a little bit because we can't get the words off the screen, right? And I forget what was next up because we had they're lying to you, and then do you want to know the truth?
Yeah. Well, before we speed past, because like that Presley's like school situation,
The
like
project.
the project, I feel like I would have loved to be a fly on the wall in that classroom during her presentation.
Of
I'm
course.
not gonna lie. Like the kid didn't literally have to eat the cake, okay? He just fed into what the American people do, and that's be greedy. And his greedy ass ate all the damn cake.
Well,
Now I
here's the
feel
thing. It's also one of those things where it's like it's just we're just showing you, right? And like you said, he didn't have to eat all the cake,
he
but
did.
sometimes your eyes see something and now you
Listen,
want it, or
right,
you
listen.
feel guilty. That can
At
be
the
it
at the
too.
end at the end of the day, it was a project. It was a presentation. You didn't have to go along with it. But the fact that they was in the principal's office because of it was hilarious to me.
Mm-hmm.
especially with the dynamic of who's the oppressed versus the oppressor in the situation and how they try to make it seem. And that was so funny to me. And especially because he previously bullied Presley. So it's
Right.
like it should just desserts. You get what you get, you know?
Hey,
And as far
him.
as Xavier goes, I feel like his wife might have a point slash we don't know either. Because like if someone's never reacted that way, we don't know what they're truly capable of. They could go to the other end of the ladder, like the wife said, and he could be, I would feel bad for whoever's on the other end of that raft. However,
Listen,
he might be a person, as we see, he's a reasonable person. But first,
Xavier is like a fart.
he's
Okay,
reasonable first, okay?
silence and deadly. Okay, because for real, like it's the quiet ones you have to worry about. For real, you know, if somebody
Mm,
has been patient and
right,
has really held a certain amount of calm and a poise to them, it's really just a matter of time before they're like, enough is enough. I've turned the cheek one too many times. Now
right,
it's you to get your ass handed to you. And we
respectfully.
see that Xavier is fed up now. But unfortunately, there's so many bits and pieces that are happening in this episode. So let's just talk about how essentially, they can't get the words to come off the screen.
Right.
And
The
Sinatra
sky,
is
right? Like
right, the sky.
the
And Sinatra
sky.
is is starting to fret. She started to get scared because she knows that this thing that like, what is he up to? Where is he at? Why can't I find him? Right. And at this point, he's doing a very good job, like we said, of staying calm. He's at the diner and he's just chilling. And Sinatra and Gabrielle have this moment. First of all, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I didn't see this coming, but
Which part you didn't see coming?
the whole spying in the shower situation,
I'm not shocked. Come on, we initially knew the house was bugged, which is why she wanted to
right?
take the walk in the first place. So coming
Yeah.
back to her house to have sex with him in her shower, clearly there's going to be some bugs there. The reason why she
Mm.
left, I feel like because the house wasn't bugged. So when she left, they bugged the house and then they seen it in the shower.
That's interesting. So the house wasn't bugged initially, but because they went on
Let
the walk, they went back and bugged the house.
Same thing with the light. The light was perfectly fine and out of nowhere it went on. And
Right.
then the next day is back on again. Like it was too obvious.
I was gonna say it didn't even go off. Xavier said that. He was like, "When have you known this light to go out?" Like,
Right,
and it was nothing wrong with it, but how easy would it be for them to just put a camera up there and lo and behold, like, you know what I mean? So I think that it's
right.
interesting that even when they're talking about when Gabriella and Sinatra are talking about it, she's like, "Hey, just talk to him." First of all, does she really believe that all Sinatra is gonna do is talk to Xavier? Like, come, like I'm just so. Is she just stupid, or is she just
She's
trying to keep
naive.
the peace?
She's naive.
Okay,
Uh, you got to think about it. Samantha Sinatra is still her friend first,
they
you
were
know,
never friends though.
but
Remember,
they
she was
became
always a
friends.
patient.
She started off as a patient, but then they became friends.
You think they were actually friends? I don't think so.
I feel like Samantha made it seem as if they were.
Oh, absolutely. I would agree with you on that.
Right. So to gain the loyalty, because that's what Sinatra does, she's a manipulator. So to gain the
Mm-hmm.
loyalty, I'm sure she thinks that that's her real friend, and to make her
Right.
feel like she has more weight than she really does. She gave her the task of simulating real life, make it a huge part of the whole environment there. So of course she's
Right.
gonna feel like she has a huge piece of Sinatra's ear. You know what I mean? Because how else would you feel if somebody gave you everything that you asked for and then some?
Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like it's a bought loyalty kind of thing. And which is why when she said the thing about the shower, Gabriella didn't go off. She just kind of brushed it off kind of thing. Like it was
No,
like
she
the,
didn't. She was like, "You bugged my shower." Like she said that, and she
but
was.
come on. What more is she gonna do besides that? She's not gonna hurt Sinatra.
I mean, but who can hurt Sinatra? The one person who is trying to hurt Sinatra is Xavier, right? And so, speaking of that, we see him. Like I said, he's at the cafe or the diner. He's chilling. You know, Gabriella comes in. She's like, "What are you doing? Like, what are you up to? Like, just talk to Sinatra." Like, it's just she's doing very therapeutic bullshit that's not really getting her.
Yo,
To me, it's just not working. It's not what
right.
we need to be getting to. And he goes, "No, I think I'm good." Like I think I'm good. I think the time he's like, sometimes you have to make a scene.
Right.
And this is when he takes a stand. See, he cuts off his wristband, and Robinson goes to get the guns, and we see all
Right.
this stuff really starting to come together.
I love the cinematography in this. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
Like the different cut scenes that I'm doing, they little mission on the side with this going on over here. I love that. I love it. It
No,
looked
I
like things are in
definitely really
motion.
like that. My favorite part is the notes, the sticky notes,
Got you.
because
My
that
God.
I was just gonna say that for me, I love the little bit of lightheartedness because the episodes are getting heavy. So I think that was necessary to have it.
That's a fact. I agree. I feel like it was a way to soften the show up a little bit because
Mm,
because it is so much going on. You
okay,
know,
I can see that.
they had the it was one of those things that kind of reset your palate for the next crazy thing that's about to happen. You know,
Right.
like I'm really interested to see what happens next. So I'm not gonna lie because
I just think that there's so many unknowns and we keep getting little bits and pieces, little Easter eggs that we're like seeing, like things that we have to pay attention to. And that for me is like the biggest piece, right? Because, and let's just talk about the guns for a second, right?
right
One of the things Cal said in previous episodes was, do you think that people this powerful would have a place where no guns existed, right?
at all, right?
Robinson finds out that there's a whole stash of guns, but in this episode, we also see that Sinatra hits up Jane and is like, find Xavier,
Xavier now,
and she has a gun. That's not even part of the stash that they found. So guns are definitely running
and
amok
there,
in
and
paradise.
you know what's so crazy about that is when did she obtain a gun?
That's what I'm trying to say.
And
When did she obtain a gun?
how long did she have a gun for? Did she always have a gun?
I
I,
think she did.
I'm not gonna lie, Jane is my favorite character right now.
Mm,
Not gonna
really?
lie. I hated her at first, but she's my favorite character.
I mean, I still hate her, but she's a
Let me tell
great.
you
She's a
why.
great.
Let me
Her
tell you why.
character
Because
is very
she's playing her character so well.
right. Yeah.
She's playing her character so well. I gotta respect it. Like the only other person I feel like is playing a character that well is Xavier. But like, come on, as
Yeah.
a
I mean,
supporting
seeing
person,
Jane be like I said, I was able to interview her, right? If y'all haven't seen that interview, go watch it. But I called her a Sour Patch Kid. I said she was sweet and now she's sour because it's literally for me that's what she is. Like we thought
yo,
that she was something that she wasn't, right? And I mean,
right.
come on, guys, y'all can comment. Let us know what your thoughts are, how you feel. Do you like Jane as a character, and or do you hate her? I think that she's a quiet villain, and because we all know Sinatra is a monster, but every
Right.
monster needs a side, like a what they call it, not a side piece, because
You said every monster needs his what? Sidekick? Or
not a
what?
sidekick, but yeah, right hand man. You know
Right
what I mean?
hand
Like they
man.
need
Yeah.
somebody, yeah.
Right.
And I
So you
think that
feel like
that Jane is
Jane,
that for Sinatra.
I feel like Jane is a lapdog of many lapdogs Sinatra has in place in this whole society, okay?
And we
Uh,
see that.
but Jane did say she was the biggest and baddest she got. And that's
But
only because I feel like that's only because she gets slept on. I don't think she
I would
mean it as
think
far as
that
brawn, but I think as far as
Sinatra.
brain.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I feel like Jane is brain smart, assassin smart, right? But she's not
Not
physically
brawn.
strong.
Yeah.
But I think that I mean, again, like to your point, we see those people come into play in this episode because, like I said, Sinatra is panicking. So we see
Right.
the people who are in the control room, you know, the not the ones who are not the tech folks. We're talking about the people that she's like, find him and find him now. Those are the bronze. Those are the ones who also have, you know, weapons and guns and things of that nature. So for me, it's like, okay, now we get to see. I don't know if they're under her thumb per se, or if they just feel like they're
Right.
doing their job.
I feel like the way she could manipulate it is that they're doing their job.
Right.
But in actuality, they're just doing her bidding.
Yeah, I agree with
Like
that.
she's a manipulator from the beginning, we've noticed. So it's like at this point, are we shocked that that's how it's
No,
going down?
no,
Like,
of course not.
because I'm not gonna lie, Sinatra is a bad man agenda, you heard?
Man, I hate her more and
She,
more each
she,
episode.
she, she, honestly, like, let's get into it for real. Like, when Xavier and Sinatra finally do cross paths, right? Do you feel like it's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna be a true stalemate for real, or it's gonna be like one of those bet time and place somebody got to go?
Sinatra always has a trick up her sleeve. That's how I feel. Every single time that we think that we have her pegged and we understand where she's going, and we think, okay, maybe we can catch her off guard. She's always got something, you know. And
Right,
so, even sending Jane after Xavier, and Jane
right,
realizing, okay, well, I don't know where he is, but let me find another
no,
end. And she goes
right,
after Jeremy, who's with Presley, right?
right,
And this part of the episode is very interesting because one, your dad told your ass to stay put and to protect your brother. Okay,
right.
his instructions were explicit. I think they could have been a little bit more explicit to say things are going to get bad. I need you to stay here. Do not, for any reason, come
But
out.
he kind of said that. He kind
He
of said that.
did. I feel like he need, and here's the thing. I just feel like sometimes you really gotta tell people the truth, the whole, like, and you gotta like exacerbate it a little bit, right? Like for example, you remember that's when we used to get told like, don't touch the stove because it's gonna burn you, right?
Hmm.
That seems like, I mean, well, you didn't say my hand was gonna catch on fire. You said burn. I'm thinking it might not be that bad, right? But if you say don't touch the stove, your hand's gonna catch on fire, and you might be a little less prone to touching the stove. What I'm saying is
But
Presley.
Presley wanted to see her hand get on fire. He should have said, "Don't touch the stove, or you're gonna die." And
Maybe I
then
should have been
maybe
it.
that would
Yeah.
have been a little bit more traumatizing for her, like, cause she touching the stove.
Yeah,
She
she's
playing in the
definitely touching the
street,
stove.
like she playing in traffic. It's all right.
Yeah, but she's
Uh,
also a kid, so we be mindful that kids are gonna do what they want to do, especially as she is on a mission to find out what happened to her mom. So let's not forget that this is really
just
the major part
that.
about
So
it.
with that too, I feel is crazy because why haven't you gone to your dad yet with the information that you find?
I think that she was, though, in the last episode. I think that she was going to tell him, but then he interrupted her and told her that Uncle Billy died and that she
Right.
needed to get her stuff. So, but I still feel like you have to find a moment to like tell him like what's going on. Like, not only did I find the tablet, but then we realized that um in this episode, when Presley goes with Jeremy and she's like, hey, I found this. I know it was wrong. I probably should have given it back. But I just thought it would help me find out what was going on with my mom and this and the third. And then Grandpa opens the damn iPad up, right?
Right.
But in that moment, Presley realizes like,
Crazy.
hey, wait, I seen that I guess mark, right, that's on his bookmark, that flower, that symbol. She's like, I've seen that the night that everything happened, the night that I saw this tablet. So now we're starting to figure out, and we said it while we was watching. We were like, who is this person, and why are they wearing this jumpsuit?
Do you feel the father inadvertently had something to do with his son's death?
I don't think so. I think that even in his dementia, I think that he loved Cal. I think he wouldn't do anything to hurt him directly, but I think that maybe he could have been possibly manipulated into thinking that whatever he was getting ready to do was going to save Cal. In reality, it wasn't, because again, we said Sinatra is master manipulator. She's been getting people all the time. Like, she has literally people in compromising positions.
Listen, to manipulate a man with dementia, you got to be a cold-blooded bastard, okay? I'm just saying.
Yeah, she
That
really
is
is
crazy. Like, you got to be cold-blooded. How do you manipulate a man with dementia?
Listen, I'm trying to tell you, she's an asshole.
Yeah, that's different.
She's a huge asshole.
But he was an asshole too before he had
He
dementia.
was. Yeah.
With dementia. He worked, so I guess.
Yeah.
That's his just dirt. It's crazy.
But here's my thing. I just feel like we know that this is where it's going, because Sinatra. Oh, and so let's be clear. This episode is very pivotal to the season, because we see that they have a plan put in place, right? I want to say it was this episode or the last episode. I think it was the last episode where we see Xavier walk Cal through the process, right, of what happens in the case of an emergency. And so while we're trying to figure out, like, what does this even mean, we see how it all comes into play, because Xavier knows every single trigger. So, every action that causes a certain reaction. So he's like, okay, bet, we need to get the guns. This is going to cause one reaction. We're going to create this diversion. This is going to, boom, boom, bam. And I will say that
I'm not gonna lie. That was crazy. Because even the interaction with the maintenance janitor guy, like, crazy.
I think that Xavier is so amazing at what he does in terms of really grabbing your attention and creating this storyline and following it all the way through. And you see him be meticulous with his plan. And that's what I love about him, right? So we see him really just, he's going through all these things in his head. Like I said in the previous episode, we saw him take Cal through it, right? And now we're like, oh, this is what this was about, because he knows they still have the same plan in place, even in paradise, right? So I love that, because at first I didn't catch on until I started to see how everything was working. So now you're trying to figure out, how do we do this without rebooting the system, right? And then deciding, like, okay, well, at this point they're shooting right at the tower, and that sets all these things into motion. Now they've managed to get a squad of people that they trust, right? Robinson and Xavier, they've gotten a few people who, like we talked about previously, are so excited to get this gun back in their hand. You know what I mean? Like, I know how to work this thing. This is amazing. And I think
taking down the law, and I got a gun. Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Most of those mercenaries were criminals.
Well, let's hope not. Let's hope not.
Look at Billy. Billy was a criminal. You think he was the only one they took out of jail?
Well, no. I mean, I think that Billy is a different type of character, because he's also the same person who was looking for redemption. And I'm not sure about any of these other characters, because we haven't gotten a chance to meet them. But I do think for Billy in particular, redemption was definitely part of his story, and part of why he wanted to be better for Xavier and the kids, And so we see this conversation happen between Robinson and Xavier, because Xavier is like, did you find Jane? And Robinson is like, yo, she's what behind the ears. We don't need her around because she's not going to do it. Like, did you see her around again? Like, what did you think about knowing who Jane is?
That's why I said she's my favorite character. Because at that moment I knew, even though she killed Billy, she's not even a suspect in a lot of people's minds. Crazy.
That's true.
Crazy. Cold-blooded. I like it. I like it. I like her as a character. I like the fact that Robinson is kind of downplaying her a bit. I want to see them fight.
You know what? I will say that I think that might be a real thing. I think that might be a real thing, because who else to fight outside of Robinson? Because Robinson is the main character, you know, in that space. So I'm gonna vote for that. I'm gonna vote for girl fight. You know, y'all let us know what y'all think in the comments. Drop them. Let us know what your thoughts are.
Let us know, man.
And so Xavier is asking for Jane. Robinson is downplaying Jane. In the midst of all that, Jane is over here trying to find Xavier and decides to go after Presley. Well, go after Jeremy.
Jeremy, yeah.
And they have now, like we said, they got the iPad open. Presley is got information, but also tells Jeremy, hey, you need to look at this. And right. I think that it's interesting because as things start to happen, people are starting to panic, people are starting to get nervous, but they're still seemingly to be timid, they're mild, right? There's not too much uproar until Sinatra decides to reboot the system, which sends people back into panic mode. What did you think about this decision for her to do that? Because I thought that was crazy.
To be completely honest, I feel Sinatra did what she had to do. I feel it actually aided her a little bit more.
I can see that because this is the first time that this has happened since they've been in paradise, right? And to me, my thought process was, if she does this, she loses control of the people because they're only docile in a sense because they feel like this is a sense of realness. But once you take that away from people and now you make it known, like, or you remind them, this is fake, this is all fake, that's a problem because
psychologically it messes them up.
Yes.
But I feel like at that point, it could have also hindered them too. Like, I think it helped her as far as like getting control back of the whole compound or whatever. But
really? You think so?
I think so. It got the thing off the sky.
Well, that was only one part of it, though. But remember, Jeremy had an iPad and he started talking to people about the truth.
True. That's true. But even with that, though, even with Jeremy having the iPad and talking to people about the truth, I feel like if that didn't happen with them turning the power off, it was going to make people start to question what outside is looking like. Anyway. But
I think they're still going to question what outside is looking like.
The reason I think it helped her because I think it shows the people also what kind of power they really got. You can turn your whole light off.
But then you don't think that they knew that before anyway?
Nah, but it just confirmed it. But now I feel like people gonna be in fear though. I don't know if that's better for them or not.
But that's what I'm saying. Once you make people scared people do anything, right? There's some people who will hide. And then there are others who will cause uproar, and I think that that's where we are right now. So the revolution has gone out. Right, the power has gone out. They have restarted they've restarted paradise. Jeremy has the iPad, which we know has powerful information on it about every single person in paradise. Remember that, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a file on everybody. Jane comes over and she fakes this whole sob story with Presley, and Presley is happy to see her because she doesn't know any different that Jane is like this.
The one who killed her uncle, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I'm just thinking about how things are playing out. And of course, I would think there was going to be a wrench thrown in the plan, and that wrench would be Presley, because it would have just been too like right if Xavier was able
First
to
of all,
pull this off without a hitch.
she's oblivious to what's truly going on because she's
Right.
too busy trying to figure out her own thing. And on top of that, she stepped outside of the safe zone. So once you step
Mm-hmm.
outside the safe zone, you put yourself at danger. So it
At
was a
risk.
matter of
Yeah.
time for her to either get taken or get killed.
Yeah.
At this point, right now, she only taken. So hopefully she's okay.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that Jane would do anything to her per se, but I do think that
If
Jane will. I
Sinatra say
think
so.
she's. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And so we see everything going down as planned per Xavier and Robinson, and we get the fireworks popping. They shut everything down, and now they're going into go mode, which is gotta save the cabinets, right? All the top tier politician people who are there running paradise. And so we start seeing the trucks come one by one, one by one. Everybody is pretty much doing good, got everybody in. And then we see Sinatra's truck make a U-turn. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Initially, I thought Gabriella was like, let me out. I don't want to leave these people to go through this alone. Yeah, I know, wishful thinking. But then we see that as Robinson points it out, like the truck is not coming this way. Xavier runs after it. He sees Gabriella sitting on the step, and she's like, I couldn't let it happen. Just talk to her. And we see what the talk leads to. Okay, let's get there. This talk is huge. This part of the episode is very big because I feel like there's so many lies. God damn, so many lies. Like I'm just so. I think this.
Like back to back lies too. Like it's just listen. So Tone said that Gabby is a sneaky pawn of Sinatra, which I
But
agree.
I agree, but I also think that she feels trapped.
Yeah. She's
But
just like
also, like
she's just like
Xavier, if there's
everyone
one
else.
person. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. No, I can't even say that. I agree with Tone to a degree because I will say this: if Cal told you that the only person that he trusted in the entire place of 25,000 people was Xavier, I would put my money in Xavier. I would follow his lead, no matter what Sinatra could possibly do to me or has on me. She got something on everybody in here, so why not take
True.
the risk to be with somebody who could possibly get you the truth unless you already know the truth and you just don't want it to come out.
She knows the truth. She
So,
knows everything.
but she doesn't know what Xavier has on Sinatra. Because remember, she was panicking at the beginning before everything happens. And Gabriella keeps asking, what does he have on you? Like, what does he know? And I don't know whether it's about
Gabriella probably don't know about the land. She don't know what outside
Mm,
conditions are. That's what I think she keep it from her.
yeah, yeah. I think so too. I don't know. It's weird. It's definitely weird. And I just feel like we are in a place where what is happening is what I want to
Right.
know. What
I
is
just want to
happening?
know, as a psychiatrist, did you not see any of this behavior as a red flag as a, for Sinatra? Like, did you
I
not
don't
think to
know.
prescribe her medicine of some sort? Like, I'm
Sinatra needs
confused.
more than she needs more than medicine.
Okay.
HFG says we only have 2 episodes left, and I need answers. Facts.
That's a
I'm with
fact.
you on that. I'm with you on that. We definitely need answers because what is happening right now? This is such a like I said,
Right.
this is a pivotal episode because this is where things get really tough. And so as
Yeah.
as Gabriella sits on the stoop in her stupidity, talking to Xavier, telling him to just um talk it
Just
out with
talk to
Sinatra.
Sinatra.
He goes in there to talk with Sinatra only for Sinatra to do. Here's the thing. First of all, I got a gun. You don't. Okay. And I said this while we were watching the episode. I would have shot the glass of wine or whatever she had in her hand out of her hand. So she knows I mean business. Because at this point, she's pissing me off. Okay. She's pissing
I'm not
me
gonna lie.
off.
You would have shot the glass of wine. I would have shot it in a kneecap.
Okay. Listen. Pinky toe.
Listen,
Was shot
pinky
in the
toe.
pinky toe.
Listen, you would have had to. Because listen,
Facts.
she got to know you mean business from jump and not even play with you.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That I just feel like they really just playing with us. And
Right.
somebody said for real, they got us by the neck. They really do. Because when you
They
think
do.
about it, we are so in deep with these episodes, and I, for
Right.
one, I'm just on edge, and I need more of it for sure. Like I need more of it, and so we see Xavier and Sinatra. They're talking. Xavier got the gun. I'm not gonna lie, he holding it steady. He not trembling, holding it steady, which of course we would expect from him because he's Secret Service. But then Sinatra get the moving around and talking. Like, bro, what are you?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. That's what brought me back to This Is a Show. Because why are you making sudden moves? I
Why
didn't give
you
you permission to
study?
move.
Facts.
I didn't even give you
Facts.
permission to speak yet.
I'm
And
not
you
gonna
wanna
lie for sure.
and you wanna keep chatting. Like I'm just saying.
Listen, all I know is it's just I wanted him to lay down the law. Okay, put your foot down, make a scene. The words in the sky, it wasn't enough. Okay, and we needed more. We
And
needed that one.
remember when I told you? Remember when I told you that like he a reasonable man first?
Yeah,
That's what I mean. His scene was brightened in the sky.
yeah.
His scene was going in there to talk to him. See, I
No,
could touch you.
I mean, no, but here's the thing though. I really want to know what Gabriella thought she was accomplishing by not letting Sinatra's truck get taken like the rest of them. Because it's not like anybody got killed, right? Nobody got hurt. But here's my thing. Now Sinatra want to talk about how the DNA sample didn't belong to anybody in paradise. It was an outsider. Because now everybody wants to know
Who killed Cal?
um who killed Cal and how they get it. How they get in here? How they get in here?
An
Okay.
outsider? Who knew about this place?
Yeah. HFG said Xavier is
Wait,
too calm and gentle, and he needs to be pissed off more so he can really throw down. I will agree with that.
yeah, he's never gonna get there though. I feel like we're not gonna get that part of Xavier. I honestly don't. I feel like we're gonna get some cool little action scenes, but I don't feel we're gonna get that what we're looking for.
I hope that we do. Well, actually, because now Sinatra is pulling these straws out of a donkey's hat, right? Talking about we left transponders out there. We know that people are living out there, and that you don't know all of what took place, right? Because now she brings up what Cal did, but we still don't know what it is that he does. But she's just like, oh, nothing really touched Atlanta, and we know that your wife is still out there. Girl, what do you mean? I'm very
I'm not gonna
confused.
lie. The part that got me was she was like, "We think one of these people are your wife,"
I hate her.
and then proceeded to play the little recording shit.
I hate her so bad. I really
And
do.
and I'm like, "Do you think this is AI? Everything else fake down there. Why this can't be fake?"
It just didn't feel like it. It didn't feel like it, but also it just felt, I don't know.
It
I don't know.
felt
It didn't feel
AI.
like that.
Out of nowhere, we now getting life, getting messages, radio signals. Like, come on.
But that's what I'm saying. She a liar.
Nobody.
See, HFG said the same thing. Sinatra is a liar, so I don't know if she's telling the whole truth. My thing is, it feels very it feels like somebody who just wants to keep you in line, keep you in check, because the best way to do that is to tell you the one thing that you want the
Right.
most, that you have been holding out hope
Listen,
for, which is that your wife is alive.
And that's the biggest thing right there too, is because everyone who knows Xavier knows the biggest thing he wants,
Yeah.
knows what his biggest wish is, knows what his biggest desire is. So is to have his wife back. He lost his person genuinely that day. And
Yeah.
being that's a weakness for him, he will forever be a slave to Sinatra as long as she has that to dangle. That's what I'm saying. Is it really gonna be like a stalemate for life, or is it gonna be one of those like it's either you or me situations? And I can't see Xavier doing that right now.
But I will agree with you on that. I think that this is the carrot, right, tied to a string, and it's like, oh, hey, I found your wife, or your wife could possibly still be alive, as long as it has, as he has to, he has to do, unfortunately, what Cal has been telling him to do, right, which is let go, move forward. Your kids need you. And I think that he was telling him those things because he knew that Sinatra could use those things against him eventually at some point in time. So
Hmm.
the more and more that we go through this, I really start to understand Cal's reasoning, his thought process. Like HFG said, we got 2 more episodes to go, and quite frankly, it's so much to unpack that I'm already excited for season 2, because say what
Listen,
now? Like, come on, give it to us.
rest in peace to Cal. He really was a real one. So
He was, he was.
that was my person.
So
Fuck what his dad said.
I mean, listen, I think Cal did an amazing job. And so, like I said, we see that everybody except for Sinatra got captured in the secret holding place, right? And Sinatra basically tells Xavier, hey, listen, this person is an outsider who killed Cal. Return all my guns. Okay, stop this nonsense. Find out who killed Cal, and maybe we can talk. But now she throws another needle in the haystack, because she says you might want to call and check on Presley. And he calls the bar. Presley is not there. We don't know where Presley is. And now that's something else that he has to worry about, because not only is one kid in danger, though, because reality is both of them are in danger if Sinatra knows where they're being held and where they were supposed to be hiding. This is a
And
shit show.
on top of that, you using a phone inside of her office that probably could track whatever phone's being used in that motherfucker. Who knows?
Yeah,
Like Sinatra is very sneaky like that. So I wouldn't even have been trusting nothing she said.
I
I would have
wouldn't
shot
trust
at a
nothing she
kneecap.
says.
I would
No,
have shot at a
that's
kneecap.
what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you that
I would have
the
put Kente the foot off. I would have
not
had to.
Kunta, sir, not the Kunta,
Listen,
not the Kunta. Can't say I
her
cannot.
name Toby now. Your name not
Tony
Sinatra no more.
Tony says sneaky, sneaky Sinatra. Yeah,
Sneaky
because
Sinatra.
for real,
Okay.
she's sinister Sinatra for me. Because
Sinister
I mean, she got
Sinatra.
something. She got
Oh,
something
y'all
for
good at these S
everything.
words.
She got something for everything. Because how did you know? I wish that Gabriella, the scene would not have went the way it went if Gabriella was in there, like in the room. But I feel like Gabriella should have been like at the window listening in,
Hmm.
so she could see like what Sinatra and who Sinatra really is. I think that she wants to live in this world of naivety, which is not
Yeah.
helpful, because you are in this too, man. Like, you in this mess too. And
But her
whatever
hands
you
are
think she
dirty
don't
though.
have, exactly.
Her hands are already dirty, so she like, okay, I'm trying to clean my hands now, but it's too late. You already
It's
got
too
blood on
late.
your hands.
Yeah.
Once you made the list, you curated the list of 25,000 people, and you had to really buckle it down. And probably who knows how many people on that list was actually just assassins for Sinatra's dirty work.
Yeah. Yeah, this is true. We won't know. We really won't know until people start coming out the woodworks. But like I
Right?
said, we saw the folks, not the
It's only
tech
but so many
folks.
people to kill. So,
That part, that part
so
for sure.
and it's only but so many places to hide. You in a mountain.
Yeah, yeah, this is true. I want to know what happens to everybody who was down for the cause. All the soldiers, Carl, the bartender, right? Like, what happens to these people? Because I don't think that it would serve Sinatra any good to do anything to them. Because also, what happens to Jeremy? Now the iPad is unlocked and it is out there and people have access to read it. Like, there's so many questions that need answers right now, and in the next 2 episodes I just don't feel like they're going to give it to me, so I need to know what is happening.
Nah, that's a fact. I'm not gonna lie. From from episode 1 to now, I can tell you, at a loss of words at the growth in each character development. I
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see like what really happens, especially with Sinatra having the double whammy the way she presented it. Like, who would have knew? His wife
Yeah.
been dead the whole show. Now she
Right.
alive. What? What? Well,
Nah,
and the
you
good thing
right.
is, like, the wife is alive, and it's good thing is she's alive within the first season, or at least thoughts of being alive within the first season. And
Mm-hmm.
Shell's just looking forward to a second season. It's
Mm-hmm.
just, it's just, how many years y'all been in there before y'all found out your wife was alive? Did she get a new husband? Did they make a new civilization across the country? Like, I need to know. I just need to
Listen,
know.
I
Listen,
feel like I feel like those are the top questions. Is she really alive? Is Sinatra just using maybe an old soundbite from when things first happened in order to hang this over Xavier's head?
mm,
Will Xavier give the guns back? Will he let the cabinet go? What's the next move? Who what has Jane done with Presley? What are the repercussions for Jeremy now that the iPad is open and things can be read about? I mean,
who
there's
going,
so many, like I said, so many different questions.
right? Who going to save Presley?
Yeah, and who's gonna protect James?
Yeah, well, the bartender right now, but
Let's
bartender's doing
hope.
stupid stuff.
Let's hope. Well, the bartender didn't do anything.
But he got a dog. It's illegal.
Oh yeah, well,
And he
besides the
put the words
dog.
on the screen. TV, Sky.
But they don't know that yet.
Right, but I'm just
Yes.
saying,
Yeah.
it's once you start picking one piece together, the rest of them just start falling out of nowhere.
That's
I'm just
true.
saying.
Very, very true. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I like Tone's prediction. Said Tone saying that Jeremy is gonna save Presley. I actually because Jeremy is gonna be key to Presley, right? Because Xavier is going to probably ask, like, well, you were with her, who did you last see her with? And Jeremy
Jane.
is gonna say Jane.
And that's when Robinson and Jane gonna get busy.
Listen, I'm down for the girl fight for real, and I feel like Robinson will definitely give Jane a run for her money.
Hey Siri, play Girl Fight by Brooke Lopez.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, y'all know what time it is. It's time for the wrap up, and we are super, super excited to have gone live with you all tonight. Feel
Yes,
free to
yes.
drop your comments in the box below. Let us know what you think, man. The questions that I came up with, what do you all think? What are your predictions? And do you have any questions of your own that I haven't actually asked? You
Right,
know
let me
what we
spin.
are going to do. We'll be here on time next time, next time. But I appreciate y'all
That's
for
right.
rocking with us, for always staying with us. And until next time, y'all, peace.